is where the area you need to be on guard in your safe spot as this tornado continues to move in. So let's go back up. You can see Plantersville here, 701 as it crosses into Horry County near the Bucksport community. You need to be on guard, and it looks like they just extended that warning into Horry County now. So if you live in 378, just south of Conway, in the southern portions of Horry County, you are now under a tornado warning as this continues to move to the north. Plantersville, this is moving over you right now. So you want to be in your safe place right now, lowest level of your home. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. I know it sounds funny, but if you can find a helmet or something like that that keeps your head safe. When we see tornadoes, head impacts or head trauma is the leading cause of death in tornadoes. So make sure you keep that head safe. And as it moves up, we're going to see portions of, this is Marion County, Florence County, as well as Horry County. So this is going to be passing through more of a not as populated portion of Horry County, but again, there's still people that live there. So if you live near Gilbert's Crossroad, Dongalo, Woodbury, Sampson Landing, this is moving your area, Conch Creek, Petersfield. This is moving your area as well as Klondike. So you want to continue to watch that as, and there's Bucksport right there, as this storm continues to move out into your area. So again, let's go back to our reflectivity here. We'll go back to this in Wilmington. Let's go DMA here. Where's our home button? There we go. DMA right here. And you can see this is continuing to move off to the north as we get into the area. So velocity right there, very, very tight couplet right here as we get into southern Horry County here. Again, Plantersville, you need to be in that safe spot right now. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible as this tornado warning continues. And you can see here, Conway, 25 minutes away from you. So right now, Conway, you need to be making your way, getting your emergency stuff together, getting close to your safe spot that you need to be into as this rotation continues to move off to the north. And this is some pretty significant rotation as well. And it is quickly moving off to the north here as we get into. So Surf City, Garden City, Murrells Inlet, this is going to be just off to your west. But again, you need to be in that safe spot as this continues to move up. So you got Highway 701. It's kind of really running up Highway 701. You got 261 that's crossing there. Conway, 25 minutes. So you need to be in your safe place. We'll zoom this out a little bit more. And you can see this is going to be there's Conway. Here's Carolina Forest. This is going to be moving towards Conway and then eventually into Aner as well as we get through. And these are these bands that are continuing to move onshore as these storms continue to move into the area. So again, let's go back to the Grand Strand here. And you can see this rotation continuing to move up 701, Highway 378. So kind of that Bucksport area, you need to be in your shelter right now. James, anything that you're seeing right now that maybe we need to be particularly paying attention to?
Well, what you see there is a lot better rotation than we had with that last one. That's why this one's holding together a little bit better. Again, moving 62 miles an hour. And this one, again, now your tornado warning includes Horry, Marion, Williamsburg County as well. So you see that is moving its way actually relatively quickly, like Scotty had mentioned. It's moving at 62 miles an hour. So you see the good rotation there. And we're going to see, again, that continue to move its way up towards Conway, 25 minutes. So luckily there's not too much in here, but of course, if you're in this area, you need to be in your safe space and getting ready to, if you're, again, this should pass maybe just to the west of Conway. You see it moving its way right towards the southern tip of Marion County at 62 miles an hour. So that's why really the only populated area is Conway there. But again, if you live on there or if you're out there on any of these streets out there, 701, as we go throughout the morning hours. This is just getting started. We'll watch this one here as well. Not expecting too much, again, out of anything that is, do that one again. We're not expecting anything here too much as we go throughout further inland areas, but it's this main band right here. Look at all those shear markers. That does show that we do have some strong winds in these and not seeing any rotation just yet, but that's the one that we're getting most of the rotation on as it moves this way now, again, towards northern Georgetown County at 62 miles an hour, so it's a fast mover.
James, another thing with this line right here, this area is between Georgetown, Kingstree, Lake City, that's some heavy rain falling as well. We could potentially see some localized flooding. Anytime we see those deep reds right there, you know that's very heavy. It's a tropical environment out there. It's very saturated. So watch for some heavy rains in that area as well.
Yeah, and anytime you see these lines, that's what's called shear markers. Again, not too worried about these ones inland. Those just show that, again, there are still some gusting winds in these storms. It's when you get that rotation there, that is where you're seeing the best potential for a possible tornado. Again, this is radar indicated. I don't think they've had any confirmation with this one. No. But again, they're still going to see these pushing their way in. And again, that one still has some pretty good rotation on it. And you see the reds, the greens, the blues there. It does look like it is starting to weaken just a little bit. So right now, it is in the Plantersville area. If you're in Plantersville right now, you need to be in your safe space, as again, it's pushing its way up towards the northeast. It will start to fall apart, though. We'll see if it makes it into the corner of Marion County, and this goes on to what?
So seven, we got seven, let me pull up the thing here.
It's probably about 7:30.
Yeah, it normally tells, we've got it until 7:30 right now.
Yeah, so again, that one's moving its way actually relatively quickly at 62 miles an hour. Now showing Aner in about 29 minutes. Again, Conway just outside of it, so it's going to be pushing its way in about 29 minutes across 378 there, just outside of Conway. So you need to be prepared to be in your safe space if this one holds together. It does look like it still has some really good rotation on this one. Again, strong storms are moving their way in. As they move further inland, this one will be, of course, dying out like all the rest of them are. Not expecting them to push too far inland, but you need to be in your safe space now if you're just in the northern edge of Georgia. That's where it's getting ready to cross over. Again, making its way towards 261 right now. And again, there's a lot of roads out there. Down here, that was a lot brighter blue in there, but still have some pretty good rotation on that one. And we'll see if there is your reds, there's your blues, blue, and then of course that green. That shows that well-defined rotation there. And we'll see if the CC, not picking up too much. Again, there could be some ground debris in there. But again, don't even know if this one's touching the ground. This is a radar indicated warning. And again, Aner in 27 minutes with this cell as it moves its way up towards the northwest. So it did cross over 701. It looks like it's now just north of the Plantersville area. There again, there is your rotation. That is continuing to push its way right towards Marion County, the tip of Marion County. And of course, it could cross over and go into Horry County. Looking at 378 there, you look at Aner, you look at Gallivant's Ferry, and you push your way up towards Marion. Don't think it's going to make it that far inland. It does show signs that it is starting to weaken right now. But again, you need to be in your safe space if you're northwest of Plantersville, if you're anywhere between Plantersville and that Marion County line, because that's where it is moving. Again, still moving pretty quickly at 62 miles per hour. We'll wait till this shear is updated here to get the latest update on the next place it's going to hit. But as of just a few minutes ago, it showed Aner in about 28 minutes. And of course, we continue to track this one as it moves its way up and through the area. As of right now, it looks like there's a little bit back behind it. Again, we'll watch these. This one was the rotation we were showing you down here earlier. Still does look like it has some pretty good rotation on that one. Here's more down to the south, but they push inland further to the south than us, then more than likely these won't make it into our area. We're watching that entire band work its way into the area. And again, you go back to the reflectivity. That is that heavy rain there. this is the end of our severe weather threat down here to the south, but still waiting on this right now. Again, just getting the leading edge of this. This more than likely is going to last for another couple of hours as we're going to see these continuing to push their way onshore. So
that's a pretty impressive hook right there.
It is still, yes, a pretty impressive hook on that one. As you can see, what it does is that rotation hooks that heavy rain back around the system. So even with the sun coming up, possibly seeing this, it is going to be rain wrapped because we do have a lot of rain unless you're down to the south and east. And then if you're down to the southeast, you're looking pretty good because that's already passed. So again, still showing some pretty good rotation. Wait to see this shear marker update. But again, it was showing Aner in about 29 minutes. That was about 3-4 minutes ago. So you're looking at probably 25 minutes or less before that one moves its way through Aner. And we'll see that one, again, 62 miles an hour, top to 22,000 feet, not too high. So it doesn't show that it has some very strong winds with that one. But again, if you go back and look at your winds, you're going to see, again, that forward and backward motion there. 19 miles an hour away, 8 miles, or 8 miles an hour away, 19 miles too. So again, this one does look like it's showing signs of starting to weaken. Do we have any damage reports?
No damage reports yet. So that's some good news.
Yeah, that is good news that we don't have any damage reports there, as we will, clicked on that, not seeing any damage reports in our area right now. Let's go back to the reflectivity and see again. Yeah, that one does have a pretty good hook on it. You can see there, hopefully that one starts to fall apart as it moves its way a little bit further inland. And we'll see, there we go, there's your damage reports. This one actually looks like these tornado warnings that we had earlier did actually touch down. So there is the band right there. This is what we're going to watch coming up behind these right here. So this is going to be pretty persistent. And again, this is mostly Georgetown, Horry County, and then moving their way inland and dying. So these could hold together through Georgetown and Horry County as we go throughout our morning hours. And you see there is quite a bit more back behind it with some of this heavy rain down through Kingstree, Andrews, up towards Lake City. And again, the one that was warned earlier has died out. So that one is good news, but you could still get some gusting winds out of that one as it still moves its way up, just not going to be rotating. That's why they still have those shear markers on there. Again, we'll zoom back into this one here. And again, does have some good rotation on that one as we're seeing it now. It's crossed over 261. There is your main rotation right there. And you can still see the pinks, the reds, and even the purple and the greens. That does show that strong rotation there as it moves its way now, just now making its way towards the tip of Marion County. It should move its way through Marion County. And again, that 378 there, that's near Gallivant's Ferry. So you need to be prepared for that as it moves its way through. So now it's showing Aner in about 23 minutes. And we'll see again it moving quickly at about 62 miles an hour. So we'll zoom back out just a little bit more. So the tornado warning ends here. So we'll see if they extend that once it makes its way into Marion County and pushes its way towards the Marion-Horry County line, if this one still holds together. It does still, again, look like it has some pretty good rotation on it. And again, does look like we got a nice little hook on this one. You see that hook going around right there. So some strong winds in this one as you're seeing that rotation there. And again, even if you're not near the center, you're seeing strong winds in all of these thunderstorms that are pushing their way up and through the area. So this will continue, again, just the start of this as we get a lot more that is back down to the south. And right now, again, Plantersville, you're in the clear, but just for now, because again, we're still seeing more back down to the south. And there we're going to watch this one push its way in and see where it goes as well. As again, doesn't look like there's too much rotation out of this one just yet, but we're looking at a little bit of rotation with that one right there. There's some rotation with this one down to the south. That one does look a lot weaker. You can see the blue is right there in between the towards and the away. So when you get that bright green up against that bright red, that is where you get that better rotation. And that's what we're seeing with this one. That's why there's no warnings on this one just yet. Again, that's not too impressive a rotation. But what happens is when it moves this way right over land, that's when you start to see the lower levels of these storms start to slow down. The upper levels speed up. That's called shear. And when you get that shear combined with that lift, that's where you get these tornadoes. Some of them start out as waterspouts, but not all of them. When you watch these thunderstorms push their way in again, that shear is what causes that to rotate there. So we'll keep our eye on that one. Looks like right now it is moving its way right over Marion County line. There it is. There's your rotation there. Aner, now it says 22 minutes on the latest update. So again, Aner, of course, is to the west there of Conway. So you're looking Aner area about right here is where Aner, well, a little bit past 22 there. And then from there, it looks like it's going up towards Gallivant's Ferry. And if this one, again, if this holds together, it does look like the rotation is starting to weaken, but that's still some pretty good rotation with that green, with that red showing that counterclockwise rotation. So right now it's showing Aner, again, Aner right there at about 22 minutes, and there's Gallivant's Ferry right there. So we'll see where this one goes. Still some strong winds outside of it as well. You can get some strong straight line winds out of some of these storms, so not all the damage from these thunderstorms could come with the possibility of a tornado. But again, still haven't got confirmation that this one has been on the ground. Again, this is a radar indicated tornado, and we'll see more of this happening as we go throughout our morning hours. Luckily, usually these things are fairly weak as they push their way. And again, this one, it will be stronger on the coast when these first form, because again, that's what this one was showing. Again, still showing a pretty good hook on that one. So it does still look like we got some pretty impressive rotation. This one is, the warning goes for about another 15 minutes, but this one's going to move out of that box in the next 15 minutes, as again, it's booking it at 62 miles an hour. So I expect this one to get expanded, crossing over 501 there as we go probably throughout the next about 5 or 10 minutes, again, with this one moving its way up and out. Again, looking at that velocity, that's why you have that marker there. So again, a good rotation now in the tip of Marion County, as that one is moving its way at 62 miles an hour. So again, there's no major in place cities there. But again, a lot of people do live around this area. You see, again, some roads here. We'll watch for this crossing over, again, as we go throughout. This area here, I would say probably in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Again, looks like we got a Sampson Landing Road. We do have Darling Lake Road. So this is going to be crossing over, say, probably in about the next 10 minutes there as we see this one. Again, it's moving quickly, 62 miles an hour. And there it's going to, again, moving its way out of Georgetown County now. So that rotation, again, is still pretty impressive. You need to be in your safe space if you're in the tip there of Marion County. Again, this one looks like it's going to, there's your rotation, a pretty broad rotation on that one as well. We'll see it. Let's see if that one falls apart as it moves its way a little bit further inland. But again, still pretty impressive for that rotation there on the velocity. And right now it looks like it's going to be, of course, passing well outside of Conway there. So Carolina Forest, the coast, you're looking pretty good. But all these bands will continue to push their way up and into the area. So we're going to see a lot more of this as we go throughout the morning hours. Latest update shows Aner in 17 minutes. You need to go ahead and get prepared, be in your safe space to see if this one holds together. Now 16 minutes. So again, this one is moving quickly at 62 miles an hour. Let's go back to your reflectivity and then zoom back out to the DMA and see what's back behind it. Nothing warned here just yet. Watch this one that's pushing its way on, because if you go back to the velocity, you are seeing some rotation in this one. So that's going to be the next one on deck. Looks like it's going to follow this one just a little bit further to the north and east, again, as these bands continue to push their way up through the area. Aner, again, 16 minutes. Need to be in your safe spot. If you're on the west side of Aner, between Aner and Gallivant's Ferry, you need to be getting in your safe spot now, because that's where it is going to continue to track. So Aner will be right on the outside edge of this as all these storms kind of rotate up towards the north. So we'll watch for what's back behind it. But as of right now, again, that one still shows good rotation there. So again, now it's in Marion County. It's out of Georgetown County now. So things are looking much better. If you're down towards Plantersville, your wind should be dying down. And again, you're still going to see that rain. But back to the reflectivity. Yep, there's that hook, as you can see. Again, it still looks pretty impressive there with that hook. There is your rotation. There's your center of rotation. So if you're around that, that's where you're seeing those possibility of some damaging winds. Aner 16 minutes away. It'll continue to move its way at 62 miles an hour. And again, there is 501. So you need to be careful if you're anywhere between Aner, Gallivant's Ferry, and maybe towards Marion on 501, because you'll see those winds picking up. So again, that looks like down the intersection there at 501. Let me zoom in just a little bit more and see if we can get some of these street names to pop up. Looks like 501. Don't really know off the top of my head what the road name is right there. I apologize for that if you live in that area. But again, we're seeing that passing its way there. That's 501 in Marion County. So that one looks like it's getting ready to move its way out of the tornado watched or warned area. Expect that one to be extended, because again, yes, we do still have some pretty good rotation on that one. There you go. Look at that color. And there it is. It has been extended, as you can see now, the new tornado warning, which more than likely goes to probably about 7:45. We'll zoom back out on this one and get a good hit on where that one is. Because again, now it has been extended. As you can see.
This one's been extended till 7:45.
Yep.
The storm's going to be near Britain's Neck around 7:25.
Britain's Neck, 7:25.
Gallivant's Ferry and Rains by 7:35.
Yeah. So it's showing Aner in about 15 minutes. And again, Gallivant's Ferry's right there. And again, you got Britain's Neck and all those areas that this is getting ready to pass through. And there, it still has some pretty impressive rotation on that one. More than likely, it will be dying down as it gets a little closer there to 501. But this one has been holding together pretty good. Again, not seeing much, seeing a little bit of wind here in your Conway area across 378. So it should be crossing 378. I'd have to say you're probably about here in the next 5 minutes or so. So if you're on 378 outside of Conway, where Horry County goes into Marion County, you need to be in your safe space right now because that's getting ready to cross this way over. Still some pretty good rotation, some impressive rotation with that one. So it's still actually holding together. And the last one, again, did make its way into Florence County and then died down. We'll see the same potential with this one. It is going to be pushing its way through Marion, right there where Marion and Horry County come together. And more than likely, again, this one should be dying down possibly about the time we get crossing over 501 or maybe coming up to it. But again, need to be in your safe space there. Again, there he goes, just updated there. Getting ready to cross over 378 right now. So if you're in that area there, that's where you need to be in your safe space right now. As you can see, there is your pretty impressive rotation there. And we'll see that one, again, looks like that one's holding together pretty good. And there is your rotation there. We'll see if we can get some of these road names if we zoom in even closer. Not many. There's Sampson's Landing Road. Again, Sampson Landing Road, you need to be in your safe space there. And Darling Lake Road, you're still going to get some gusting winds there. You're going to be on the outer edge. There is your rotation. Again, some pretty big rotation with that one. And we'll see it moving its way. There's let's see here. There, Woodbury Road, I think you're in the clear, but again, you'll get some gusting winds out of that one. Pat Larimore Road, be careful for that. You need to be in your safe space. You're right on the outer edge of that right now, and that'll push its way. There is 378, so we'll watch it cross over. Bay Road there, you need to watch out on Bay Road. It looks like it's going to cross right over there as well, and that right there on Bay Road should be coming up here in the next 5 minutes. So again, should be crossing over 378 in about the next 5 minutes, so continue to watch that one. And again, it will move to the north. That rotation still looks good. Still waiting on this one. It doesn't look like there's anything. That's probably still because it's still in that area there. Hasn't quite expired just yet. I think that one expires at 7:30 anyway.
7:30.
So we'll see that one expiring, and then we're going to focus on that. But that is, of course, due to that same system there. We'll watch that one. And again, there is your rotation. So we'll continue to watch that as we go throughout the next about 30 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll continue to watch this. Again, if you're on 378, you definitely want to be in your safe place right now. Let's zoom back out. I want to go back to reflectivity here and let you look at this. And again, we are seeing the storm right here continue to move in. So Aner, eventually Marion County, you're going to be seeing this as it moves closer. We're going to zoom in right about here. And you can see we had that hook or that notch just a little bit ago. That is starting to dissipate a little bit. We still got a little bit of a notch right here, but that is a sign of it starting to weaken a little bit. Again, 8 or 15 minutes out, but you definitely want to continue to be in your safe place. There's Marion. You can see kind of at the end of our storm track here. This storm is moving to the north at 62 miles per hour. So Aner, you need to be in your safe place. So is Gallivant's Ferry. But again, the main spot right now is across Highway 378 as you go from Conway through the southern portions of Marion County, then back towards Lake City. And again, so this tornado warning will continue or includes Mullins and Marion, but you still have a ways left from that storm. Just keep your eyes peeled out, continue watching us as the storm continues to move to the north. If it continues to rotation, you'll definitely want to seek shelter, but keep your eyes on this one right now. And again, this storm is moving to the north at around 62 miles per hour. So you can see Aner in 12 minutes, Marion 24 minutes, Mullins 25, Nichols in 27 minutes. And so this is going to continue to move north. This will include portions of 501 once you get towards the 501 interchange right there, and then moving into Marion County. So thankfully right now, we'll kind of zoom out of this and Let's see, let's go back to our reflectivity. We're going to zoom out. And you can see, looking back, we still have some cells off of Georgetown. That's going to be moving north, and you can see that cell right here in the Georgetown area. If we can zoom into this one. This is our next one that's moving on shore near Pawleys Island. This one could be near Coastal Carolina in 24 minutes, Conway in 26 minutes. And as you can see, this would include places like Garden City, Murrells Inlet, Surfside, Myrtle Beach. Skylar's been reporting from Surfside for a while now, so we'll definitely get on the phone with Skylar and just let her know that, hey, we need to watch this band as it continues to move through. But I'm going to zoom out just a little bit and show you, not only do we have this tornado threat, but this is producing a lot of heavy rain from Kingstree up to Lake City, Florence, and then this band right here from Pawleys Island into Murrells Inlet into Myrtle Beach. Again, these are the bands that we're watching. We'll continue to watch this band offshore as it moves north, because these are what we will see as this band continues to move into the area. So Georgetown, we've had a few tornado warnings for your area. You're clear right now, but we are watching this cell right here that is in the southern portions of Marion County. We'll kind of zoom in here, and you can see this is now crossed over 378. If I zoom in a little bit more, we can maybe pick up some roadways here. So you got Jordanville, Hughes Landing. Let's see if we can get some road names here. You've got Bay Road, as James was telling you about. There's Britton's Neck, Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard Drive, Sunny Road as well. So we will continue to see this continue to move north, eventually into Gunter's Island Road, Peters Ferry Landing, Crib Road. So these storms are continuing to move north pretty quickly. So at 62 miles per hour, you don't have a lot of time to get in your safe place. So that's why you need to do it now. So if we just mentioned any of your roadways, you need to go ahead and be in that safe place, because this storm is really continuing to move pretty fast to the north. And again, Aner, this may pass just to your west, but you still need to be in your shelter. You're in that polygon for the tornado warning, as well as portions of Marion and Mullins. This is a little bit further north, so you still have a little bit of time to watch this, about 15, 20 minutes, but keep your eye on this as the storm continues to move out into the north at 62 miles per hour. So let's take a look at our velocity here. You can still see we've got some velocity here, still some rotation that is moving through southern tips of Marion County. So you've got Aner in 12 minutes, Marion in 23 minutes, Mullins in 24 minutes, Nichols in 26 minutes, and this is continuing to quickly move to the north. So our latest scan has the rotation right in this area. So you can see right here, if we can zoom in just a little bit more, maybe we can get some street names here. So this is Gunter Islands Road. This is passing over Bay Road right now. There's Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Bay Road, Crib Road. And as we continue to move to the north, you still have Gunter's Island Road as well. So this storm continues to move to the north at 62 miles per hour. So what do you need to do in your tornado warning? You need to be in the lowest level of your home. I know not a lot of us have basements, but if you do, that's the best place. But you want to be in the lowest place, most interior home part of your home. That's most likely a hallway closet. You want to be away from windows. Your bathroom is a very sturdy structure, and you want to hunker down until this storm passes. I always say you want to put some sort of helmet on or some kind of device to protect your head. A lot of tornado injuries and deaths come from head trauma because of that flying debris. So you want to make sure you protect your head. And again, our rotation right here, moving to the north at 62 miles per hour, and that is pretty fast. So you don't have a lot of time to prepare for this as this continues to move off to the north. So let's see if we can zoom in here, get some more local roadways. Here's Gunter's Road. There's not a lot out here. So here you have Black Island Road. You have Black Island Road, then Gunter Lake Road. Again, these are some of the places that you need to be in your safe place as the storm continues to move through the area. So let's go back to our reflectivity here. We'll kind of zoom out here over the next little bit. And you can see we still have a little bit of that hook in there, but it is starting to weaken just a little bit. But as we look to our south, this is going to be very close. So let's go back here to our DMA, Wilmington, reflectivity. And you can see as we go back to our DMA here and our reflectivity, you can see we still have some storms moving in from Georgetown County. So, James, they haven't canceled that tornado warning yet, and I think we're almost at 7:30, so maybe that'll go away here in just a second. But we're still watching this storm right here that is continuously moving through southern Marion County into the Aner area. So here's Aner. You can see this storm is passing just to your west right now. This is along highway, let's see if we have any highways out here. So you have Peters Ferry Landing, Jonestown, Dog Bluff, Reboth, Dog Bluff Landing, Peters Ferry Landing. If we can zoom in a little bit more, let's see if we can get some roadways here and kind of let you know what's going on there. There we go. So this is Gunter's Island Road, Black Island Road, up towards Paradise Drive, and then you have Hog Lake Road, Gunter's Island, Red Hill, PD Road South. So you can see we definitely have some of those storms, rotation areas moving in your direction. So this tornado warning, again, goes until 7:45, and that's why you want to be in your safe place as we continue to move through. These storms continue to move through. And then we have a line of heavy rain just south of Florence through Lake City and just to the east of King Street that is setting up. We could see some isolated flooding there as that heavy rain continues to train from south to north, even to Georgetown. So we have a new warning down here just close to the Georgetown area. And let's go down here and you can kind of see. So we'll watch this. This could move into Georgetown County and then eventually into Williamsburg County. Myrtle Beach, we're starting to see some of that rainfall move into our area. We'll have to watch this cell right here, then these couple ones right behind it as they continue to move north and off to the east. Those will kind of be pivoting into our areas right now. But our tornado warning continues until 7:45, which is another 14 minutes or so for portions of Horry County and Marion County. And again, this is going to be crossing over 501 here in just a little bit. And let's see if we can see. This is now just to the west of Aner. Let's see if we can get our velocities up here. And it is starting to weaken a little bit, James, and I don't think we've seen any damage reported yet, have we?
No, we haven't seen damage reports. I got that turned on, and there's nothing going on with that one. But you still, again, you're now starting to see that die down a little bit. When you go back to the reflectivity, we are seeing, again, that rotate, that not as much as a well-defined hook right now. And again, so that's where you're going to start to see that rotation starting to die. When you don't see that hook on there anymore, that's what we'll see here over the course of probably, I would say, about the next 10 to 15 minutes. Looks like this one is starting to die down just a little bit. And there you go. So it is still moving its way towards 501. We will continue to see it doing that at a pretty good rate of speed.
I don't have my phone with me.
So again,
I can't get into email.
62 minutes, so 62 miles an hour. Marion, 17 minutes. Mullins, 18 minutes. Sellers, 25. And Lakeview, 28. Don't think it's going to hold together this long, but definitely could see that and possibly coming to the outside of Marion and Mullins in 18 minutes. So, again, you still see a little bit of a hook there. You're still seeing that rotation. So, again, you're seeing now there's your greens, there's your reds, and if you query that to see how fast these winds are going, kind of hard to get in there and get some of these darker numbers. So you're looking at 12 miles towards the radar, 18 miles an hour away from the radar. So again, that shows that rotation. So not going to be a violent tornado we're looking at again. And this could not even be on the ground. By the time it makes its way in and it starts to weaken, again, a lot of these will lift. So this is a rotating thunderstorm. And again, with that rotation, that was why this one is radar indicated. Have yet to get any damage reports out of this or anybody saying they've actually seen this one on the ground. And it is starting to fall apart there just a little bit. So we're seeing this here. And again, this one's going to be Georgetown into Williamsburg County. So we'll watch that one. That one doesn't look too impressive there. But if we go down maybe to the Charleston radar and look at the velocity there, yeah, we're looking at, there's your rotation there. There's this one here. And then back a little further down to the south. Again, you're looking at that other one there. Let me turn all this stuff off to get this to move. Here we go. It's a little slow. So watching this one here as well, not much in terms with this one here, not seeing much rotation. We go back to the Wilmington radar, and it does show a little bit of rotation in this one here. This one does look a lot more impressive there for that rotation that is going to be moving its way into Georgetown County and possibly into Williamsburg County. We'll see if that one can hold together. But again, these are pretty far away from the radar. And again, the radar beam goes up at 1/2 degree as it moves this way away. So again, these are shooting up into the clouds, which is why, again, radar indicated. So wait to see if we get any confirmation of these. But again, as of right now, we're not seeing any confirmation of any tornadoes on the ground. Let's go back here and zoom back in. So Marion, 17 minutes. There's your rotation. So a little bit less than that now because it's already crossed out of this spot. Looks like it's getting to make its way there into the 501 area. And again, here we go. So we're seeing some roads here. So you got Gallivant's Ferry here to the east. You cross over 501 there. This is where we're going to start to see. Here's your rotation there. So if you're in this area here, this is where you need to watch out. As you can see, Deerview Court. You got Dick Road, Smith, Mill Pond Road. As we're going to see that one move its way towards that area there. There we go. Arrow Cross Road. There's 501. Lindsay Leggett Road. I think it's going to pass probably to the east of that, but you see where you're looking at here. So you can still see that rotation holding together there. Looks like as it's weakening, it could weaken there as it gets a little closer there to the 501 area. So that's what we're watching there. And there we go. So again, when you get a little less of that green and red and you get more into the blues and the purples, that does show, again, this starting to die down just a little bit. So let's go back to the reflectivity there. And again, yeah, we know we have a tornado warning there. So that tornado warning goes till 7:45. Go back to this shear marker there. Hasn't updated yet. Still showing Marion in 18 minutes and Mullen in 19 minutes. We'll watch this one. It doesn't look like it has a well-defined hook. It's trying, though, as you can see down to the south there. As going to, what's that? Oh, wow. Yeah, let me see. I don't have the Surfside on this one. I do have cameras on here, but unfortunately, I don't have that one. So I don't know what we have in here. I don't even know what the Gulfstream is looking at right now. It does look pretty rough out there, but of course, this is north. You can see the wind blowing there in the Gulfstream. And let me see if Harbor Gate's probably pointed a little bit closer to that direction there. But yeah, you can see kind of there. Yeah, it's a little breezy out there. I don't have the Florence, so that is our.
Pop that up on TV.
Yeah, if we could pull up that, that is our live reporter out there looking at Surfside. Yeah, can you guys pop that up upstairs? Because I can't control that. There you go. Now we're looking at, that is the Surfside Pier. Again, this is just the leading edge of the band that we were talking about that is coming in. That is the one that, again, is going to be bringing us that potential right now that is far down to the south. So we're not seeing that right now. What we're seeing, again, is that, yeah, most of that, you're not seeing any rain right now down the Surfside area, but look how angry that surf is down there. You're seeing some strong gusting winds there. We've been seeing wind gusts in the 30s, and now they're going to be going up into the 40s, and that just shows you how much of that wind is coming onshore. When the strong winds come onshore, they get that friction, and that's what starts up these tornadoes, these brief spin-up tornadoes. These have not been very brief. So again, some strong winds with this one. Again, remember, Helene was a Category 4 storm. It's now a tropical storm, but again, we are still looking at those strong winds, those big bands moving their way through. Nothing's stopping it when it's offshore. It's that friction onshore that causes these things to spin up. And with, again, it's a tropical storm, but again, it's moving at 30 miles per hour, so all these bands are moving with it. So we'll continue to see these moving in actually relatively strong. So again, now it looks like, I think it's yeah, that's a pretty good rotation there right here. So it's a little bit past this. There is your rotation. Again, it is weakening, which is good news. We'll see if it makes it to Marion. So I would say Marion, Mullins, you're probably looking at about the next 6 to 8 minutes. You need to be in your safe space right now. It does look like this one is starting to lift and weaken a little bit. Could still possibly make it there. We got 501 down towards Gallivant's Ferry. Now it's passing again. There's your Gallivant's Ferry area. There's Mullins. There's your 501 near 76 there. So we'll watch this area right here is where it looks to be right now. We'll watch it push its way. Yeah, 62 miles an hour. Now Mullins, Marion, 9 minutes, Sellers 17, and Dillon 23. Again, I don't think it's going to make it quite to Dillon, at least how it looks here with it weakening. As we see that rotation, you go back to the reflectivity, and there's not much of a hook there. It looks like it's trying. Looks like it might have wrapped its way all the way around, so we'll see if that one lifts or at least dies out. But there again is Marion, Mullins, there's 76, there's 501. So it looks like it's getting ready to cross over 501 there. And you need to be in your safe spot if you're around 501, again, between Galavance, Ferry, and Marion. That's where it's crossing over right now. Each scan looks like it is starting to weaken just a little bit, but you can still see, again, that looks like some pretty good rotation there still around this area. It is broad rotation, though, so you can see how big that rotation is. And again, without being, much of that green in there, it doesn't look like we're seeing too strong of winds wrapping around the backside of that, because the green, of course, is heading towards the radar. The red is heading away from the radar. So not seeing really too strong of rotation right now. But you need to be in your safe spot. If you're south of Marion or Mullins or in Marion, Mullins, you need to be getting in your safe space now if this one holds together. Of course, this warning goes for about another 6 more minutes. We'll see if this one gets extended. But again, it does look like this one is finally starting to weaken just a little bit. So if you zoom out just a little bit more, and there's the next radar scan. Again, it still has some rotation there, not as strong as it was earlier. And again, typically this is how these go as they push their way a little bit further inland. A lot of the rotation will die out. This does not mean that these still don't have some damaging gusting winds in them. I mean, this storm itself is moving at 62 miles an hour. So that's enough to cause some damage there with some of the heavy rain bringing down those winds. That's where you get those straight line winds. So the rotation's still heading its way towards Marion. We'll see when they update this shear marker to see if, again, if it looks like probably Marion, Mullins, you're right on the outside of it. If you're anywhere there on 76 between Marion, Mullins, be in your safe spot, even if you're up to the north there a little bit as well, because again, there is your rotation. So let's try to zoom in more and see some of these road names here. Yeah, Havenwood Road, you need to be in your safe space already because that's where it is over right now. You push your way up towards there. Shannon Road, Sawyer Road, there's Brunson Road as you get your way towards Marion. Bluff Road, you'll see it getting ready to cross there. So there again is Mullins up here, Marion down there. There's your 76 there. Need to be in your safe spot there as well. All of Marion there on the eastern side of Marion, you're going to get that rotation again. This is a pretty broad rotation here, but again, you're getting that rotation. And Marion's and Mullins, it did go back to 10 minutes. But again, it is on your doorstep right now. You need to be in your safe spot if you're in Marion and Mullins right now. Let's zoom all the way back out. And again, not seeing too much. It is, again, dying down just a little bit. We'll watch this one until it expires. Again, we'll watch this one down to the south. So again, just outside of Marion, looks like it has crossed 501. It's between 501 and 76, over 501 and 76, going from Marion all the way through Mullins with that rotation there. So let's go back out and look because again, now we got another new one down to the south. This one's pushing its way through Georgetown as well. Another one to keep a close eye on to see if these hold together. Now remember, this one pushed its way in north of Georgetown, and the ones down to the south with more time over land, of course, they should be weakening gradually as we go throughout. I'd say probably about 15, 20 miles in is when you typically see these things weaken. This goes on for about another 3 minutes. We'll see if that one holds together, but again, still showing those signs of weakening. It still has some rotation in there. We'll wait for the next update on that one because, again, looks like it's going to make its way right through Marion and Mullins there, right across. Right now, it looks like it's between 501 and 76, getting ready to cross over 76, heading towards 41. So you've got Nichols, you got Sellers. We'll see if it holds together. Looks like it could pass to the east of Sellers there between Sellers and Nichols. And there you go. Marion, 6 minutes. You got Sellers, 14 minutes. Dillon, 21 minutes. And then all the way up to south of the border by 26 minutes. So
there's the new
now
warning.
there's the latest update there. It looks like we have that warning extended. Let's zoom back out.
This is going to be for Darlington, Dillon, Florence, Marion, and Marlborough counties.
Yes, so this one is continuing to push its way inland, and it looks like it's moving again on that northwest track. So we're seeing Dillon in 20 minutes there. Dillon, you're on the very edge of it. We'll see the exact track of that one as it continues to move its way. And there's, again, Roland in 28 minutes. And, yeah, south of the border in about 25 minutes. So there is the latest. This one will expire. It's still in it. So this is the one picking up on the same one. There is Sellers. You need to be in your safe space. Sellers over towards the Mullins. It's in Marion right now, and you can see it moving its way up towards Dillon. Should pass through or maybe just to the west of Dillon. And we'll see again, see if we can query some of these numbers to see how fast this is rotating. At 76 miles an hour. So that's a pretty good rotation right there. Again, it's moving at 62. So there's your rotating storm, 66, 68 miles an hour. Now this is straight line. You notice there's no minus on there. So again, looks like that rotation is dying, but still has some strong winds in there. You're not getting the rotation we had earlier, again, or you would see the plus and the minus there. Let's see if I could get some of these numbers here. Oops. Go back here, query this, 34 and 67. Again, those look like those are going pretty straight. They're going, we're going to see still a little bit of rotation right there. But looks like this one, again, is falling apart a little bit. Still a strong storm there. Again, there you go. You're not seeing much of that hook there. So there we go. There's your Marion. There's where you're seeing, again, this is going to be rain wrapped. You're not going to see this tornado if you look out the window or wait for this one to come. So you need to be in your safe space if you're in Marion. Again, this polygon will expire. Now we're focused on this one. So we're looking at Marion. We're looking at Latta. We're looking at Dillon. We're looking at, again, 501. There's 301 between Marion and Florence. So we'll watch out for that as well. As it's moving its way, again, it was 62 miles an hour, moving really fast. So there's your timing. Marion, 6 minutes, Sellers, 14, Dillon, 21 minutes. So again, this one looks like it's holding together, but it doesn't have that hook, doesn't have that well-defined rotation on that one. And is this one still, again, radar indicated?
Yeah, radar indicated. This goes until 8:15 this morning. Again, this storm located near, near Marion around 7:45. Sellers at 7:50, and then Bingham around 8 a.m.
Yeah, and again, moving at 62 miles an hour, so you really don't have time to prepare if it's in Marion and you're in Sellers. It is in Marion right now. You see it again, not much rotation there, but it still has enough rotation that would keep that tornado warning going. And again, that goes here for about another, half an hour.
Yes.
So we'll watch this one as well. It does look like, again, that it is starting to die a little bit. You go back to the storm relative velocity. There's where you're still seeing that rotation there. That is in Marion right now. So that's where you're seeing your rotation. Just to the west of Mullins, it's going to be moving its way again towards the Sellers area. And Dillon, you're just barely in it. So it should pass you down towards the south and west. And again, this could not going to quite make it over to the Florence area, but 301 looks like it's going to cross over there, is crossing 301 as you head through Marion. There's your 501 bypass and 501 up towards Sellers. So you need to be in your safe space if you're in any of these areas, because this is where it's heading next. You see some of the roads. There's 41. There's your 501. There is your 501 loop that's around Marion. There's Business 501 that goes in. If we zoom in a little bit more, again, this is where it's going. There's East Sellers Road, Nancy Road, Danny Drive. You got Falk Road there. You need to be in your safe space right now because, again, this is a radar-indicated tornado that's actually held together pretty good. Good, strong rotation as that one moved its way into Georgetown County and continues to track towards the northwest. Marion in 4 minutes, but, again, looks like that rotation is already over Marion, and we'll see it hopefully dying down just a little bit as it moves its way towards the northwest. Again, not seeing too impressive rotation. Good rotation on this one and good rotation on that one. So those are the ones we're going to be watching once we see if this one gets expired. Because again, not seeing that good of rotation there. We'll see it. There's some of that rotation. Now you can see there's Marion, there's 41, there's your 501 over towards Sellers. So again, need to be in your safe space here as this one moves its way to the northwest. Scotty?
Yep, I'm going to toss it to Alexis right quick. She's going to give us an update on some power outages, and then we'll continue to watch these sales as they move through the PD. Alexis?
Hey, thank you so much, Scotty. We got a lot going on here. Now, coming from Power Outage US, we do know that we do have a lot of outages. Right here locally, Horry County looking at about 4,500 people without power at this moment.
And then in Florence County, we have 6,864 people experiencing no power.
We have 1,588 customers without power in Marion County.
And in South Carolina altogether, there's 974,000 customers that have lost power, and that's out of nearly 2 million customers in the entire state.
And a couple more. We do have 1,148 customers without power in Dillon County, and currently up in Darlington County, 1,293 people, or households, I should say, are in the dark. So we know that crews are waiting until it's safe to get out there, but we do have crews that have come in from other states. They are standing by. If you don't see them out there first thing this morning, don't worry, they are standing by, but we do need to make sure they're safe. However, if you do get up and see some damage, please send that to us at photos@WBTW.com. We are tracking the storm from,
Yes,
we've been watching it from Georgetown as it makes its way up into the Florence area now. So this is active for a lot of folks as they're getting up, waking up this morning, thinking about going to work. Think twice about that, depending on where you are. Keep your eye on our storm team meteorologists.
Now we're going to take a look right now at Surfside Beach. That is, we have a live camera set up there right now. We had our reporter Skylar Music there all morning, and you can see the surf out there, the waves crashing.
And keep in mind, we are well away from the eye of this storm. So the fact that we're getting this storm surge, imagine what they saw in the Big Bend of Florida, or even on the coast of southern South Carolina and northern parts of Georgia this morning. So a whole lot of storm surge. And they were saying that was going to be one of the big threats of this storm, and we're seeing it in action right now.
And I know Scotty had mentioned earlier that the Garden City Surfside area was also experiencing some flooding earlier because of the tide coming in. So we have tornado warnings issued until 8:15 a.m. So we'll go ahead and toss it back to Scotty now.
Yeah, and you don't have to go outside. We just showed you what it looks like outside, so you no need to drive to the beach right now to see what the ocean looks like. Let's take a look at what's going on. This is the big scale right now, and I know we have our tornado warning for Marion County, but James and I were just talking why Alexis and Adriana were telling you about the power outages. We have some pretty significant storms down here in Georgetown County that are going to be continuing to move to the north. So those areas that just had that tornado warning, we may see that extended back into your area. So let's take a look at what's going on down here, and then we'll get to Marion County. But you can see this little hook right here just outside of Andrews. Again, that is very indicative of a possible tornado. These are all radar indicated right now, but if we were to see some sort of debris being lofted up or getting reports of tornadoes, then those would change. But we do have that one for Andrews, another tornado warning for Georgetown County, and you can see they are continuing to move off to the north. So you can see this warning for Georgetown continues to move north at 67 miles per hour. So a very fast motion on these storms. And if it continues to hang on to the rotation, it could be at CCU in about 29 minutes. James?
Yeah, right now, it looks like the only damage report we got is from Darlington County, Indian Branch and South Center Road. There's trees down that are blocking the road, and that report was sent in at 7:30 this morning. But it looks like there has been no damage reports right now coming from either of these tornado warnings. So again, this is why we remind you, just because you don't have a tornado warning in your area right now, doesn't mean you can't get some damage. Those look like probably some straight line winds there in Darlington.
And the good news right here is this tornado warning for Marion County, Dillon County has expired or has been canceled early. So the rotation that we saw a little bit earlier has all now just went away. Still a little bit just north of Marion, but it's away enough that we're not seeing that tornado warning again. So no tornado warning now for Dillon and Marion counties, but still some gusty winds out there. I mean, if we could cue this up, you can see 60 mile per hour wind gust here in the area near Latta, about 50 miles per hour. Northern portions of Marion County, 64 mile per hour winds. So again, not seeing rotation out there, but we are definitely seeing the potential for seeing some damaging winds in this area as that band continues to move to the north. And remember, wind is wind. It doesn't have to be rotating to create damage. If it's strong enough with the saturated soils, it doesn't take much for trees to come down, and also for power outages, as Alexis and Adriana were telling you about the numerous power outages that we have across the area. So let's go back to our reflectivity here. You can see a little bit of lightning. We haven't seen that yet today, so a little bit of lightning there in Marion County as well. So as we go through the rest of the area, there we go. You can see we have this band continuing to move up to the north, and these are the two cells that we're watching right now. Technically not in our viewing area, but these are in Georgetown County. But again, these two cells right here definitely showing some signs of rotation. You can see this one just north of Andrews. See this little hook right here? that's where we're starting to see that wind kind of hook in, and that's where we could see a tornado. So let's look at the velocities, and there you go. There's that tornado about to cross over the intersection of 41 and Highway 51 just north of Andrews. And so we continue this up. Hemingway, Stuckey. Yeah, does that sound familiar? We were just talking about you a little bit ago. That warning continuing to move to the north. And again, we could see some areas that's already been under a tornado warning, back under a tornado warning at some point this morning. So we will continue to see that. And then here's Georgetown. We've got this tornado warning in Georgetown, rotation just north of downtown Georgetown. This would continue to move north into portions of southern Marion County, southern Horry County, and then also, if it sticks together, could be moving into more central Horry County as well. So with our, James, with our tornado warnings not in the area, we will continue here for the next few minutes to let you know what's going on here with these rotations. But the good thing is, Marion County, Dillon County, Darlington County, that tornado warning has been allowed to expire. So some good news there. It's these warnings that we are watching to the south now, and you can really see this rotation just north of Andrews. If we can zoom in on some roadways here, you can see Francis Marion Estates, Willitown, here's Amos Road, Center Road. Those are all in this warning right here. We've got Old County Line Road, Browns Ferry Road, and then eventually up towards Old County Line, Lidston Drive, Red Hill, Cowhead Landing. So we could see that rotation continuing to move that way, and kind of just let you see what it looks like on reflectivity here. We still have a little bit of a hook there, but not as defined as it was just a little bit ago, but we still have that kind of hook-looking feature with this storm as it continues to move into Highway 41 and 51. So, James, looks like right now for our direct viewing area, no tornado warnings, but we are watching these move into our area.
Yeah, of course, we'll continue coverage on these because, again, like Scotty just mentioned, they are heading towards us. So you can see where it's trying to hook its way around where it gets that good rotation, and we'll see that possibly continuing. This one doesn't look like, at least on your reflectivity, that we have any good rotation there, but that's why you turn it to your velocity, and you see, again, those winds going away from the radar. This is going, again, 76 miles an hour one way, and there is your rotation, 31 miles per hour. So these are continuing to circulate their way around. Look at that, 65. So that just shows that rotation there. And this one as well, kind of the same thing, 79 miles per hour. Not showing much. It is showing some gusting winds there. So we'll see that as well. And again, like I just mentioned, those trees down in Darlington County, those come from straight line winds. We haven't had a tornado warning there just yet, but you're going to still see these, even though they're not rotating. Wind is wind, especially when they get as strong as these. So we're watching these two, of course. This one's heading its way towards Plantersville. We're turning on the shear marker on this one. Hemingway, 24 minutes. Johnsonville in 27 minutes. So that's where we're watching again. There is your 701. We'll watch for that one crossing over. And the same with this one, Stuckey, 14 minutes. And again, like Scotty mentioned, we already talked about Hemingway, Johnsonville already. So you're looking at the same potential of seeing another one move its way through. There's the rotation there. Here's the rotation on this one. And let's check out the reflectivity, because earlier it did have a pretty good hook trying to develop on that one. Looks like that one is starting to fall apart just a little bit, which is some good news. But again, both of these warnings, this one goes till 8:15, and this one, both of these goes till 8:15. So this one's probably the one they'll probably expire that one. I don't think there's going to be anything with that. That was probably the start of this one there. So they just kind of squeezed it down just a little bit. So now we have two, again, that are heading towards, again, right now these are not in our viewing area, but the reason why we follow these is, again, because they are heading towards us. As you can see, here is Marion County. This one is now in Williamsburg County, kind of right there on the line of Georgetown and Williamsburg County. That will move through Williamsburg County. It's north of Andrews, but again, it is heading towards Florence County. So we'll see if that one holds together as well. But again, going to be some damaging, gusting winds. So be prepared for this one. Again, if you're in the same areas, pretty much as the last two. This one's going to follow the first one. This one here will follow the second one that, again, we were just seeing die down as it moved its way through Marion and just to the west of Mullins. So we'll see if these hold together as well. But again, still seeing some strong winds in all of these thunderstorms. We'll go back out and, again, take a quick look at what's coming up back behind this, because, again, this is all what we're watching. So, again, here is the good news, though. So we're watching this band right here. Once this band gets through the area, then we're good to go. So again, this band's circulating its way through. It is still pulling more offshore. Let's go to the reflectivity, though, on this one offshore, because it does look like you have some rotation in this one as well. And you see which way it's heading, the same as others. They're looking at northern Georgetown County. We'll see if this one holds together as it pushes its way onshore. But right now, again, don't have anything in our area. This is moving towards Florence County. This one's moving its way towards Marion. Of course, this could cross over Florence into Marion County. So if we go back in and zoom back into some of the roads, there's your rotation there. So again, if you're there, there's along 41, north of 51, there is your rotation. You need to be in your safe space there. We'll zoom in a little bit more. Pleasant Hill, County Line Road, Pleasant Hill Drive. You see Bullard Road, Hannah Loop, and Palmer Drive. If you live on those roads there near County Line Road, as you see, there's 41, Flagler Loop. Those areas need to be in your safe space as this one heads to the north. Again, these are moving very quickly as these cells are moving their way onshore. 60 to 70 miles an hour, these storms are traveling. So again, moving very quickly there. We'll go back out again and look and see. Again, seeing some very strong winds here with that whole line that is moving its way through. Not seeing any rotation in our area right now. Both of these here expire at about 15 minutes. We'll see if these hold together. Looks like if you zoom in and look at the reflectivity on this one, again, the way we were looking at it earlier did have a nice hook. Does look like it's trying to do that again with that hook there. And if you turn on the velocity, that is where that rotation is. That's how you see on a radar of a radar indicated tornado. Again, when you see that hook, that's where it shows that you're getting that rotation. That's why, again, these are radar-indicated tornadoes. Haven't got any reports of anything on the ground just yet?
Nope.
No, so nothing on the ground, so we'll watch this as it continues to move its way up to the north again. This one right here, that one still looks pretty impressive with some rotation. Does look like this one is starting to die down just a little bit. And just like we saw the last one, they did expand it through Marion towards Dillon, but it did die out. So, of course, they'll expire that as it does so. And then you can see here on the latest loop, again, not looking very impressive with this one. Don't know if they're going to be extending this one past 8:15. They might actually kill this one a little early because it does look like there's not much rotation there. A little bit better rotation on this one, as you can see. Again, just south of Plantersville on 701 right now, kind of moving up 701. It'll cross over and it'll head there to 261. So again, still in Georgetown County, not in our county just yet, but it is moving its way towards us. We'll continue to follow this, of course, as it does so to see if it holds together. Let's hope these die out. This one, again, that one does look like it is dying out. You're not seeing much in terms of rotation there, which is good luck for Hemingway. But just to be safe, if you're in Hemingway, you need to be in your safe spot because it's going to be there very quickly within the next about 6 to 8 minutes. Stuckey, 6 minutes. Hemingway, 8 minutes. And I don't think it's going to make its way to Johnsonville. It might not make it even over to Hemingway. Again, there's Stuckey, there's Hemingway, as we're going to see it continuing to kind of weaken there. Let's turn back on the reflectivity to see. Yeah, not getting much of a hook out of that one anymore, which of course is great news. This one a little bit, again, on 701 there south of Plantersville, does look like it's trying to get a hook going there, and that's where it's showing some of that rotation. So that one is 21 minutes away from Conway. Again, we'll see if that one holds together. 28 minutes from Aner. Turn back on the velocity. There is your rotation there. Can't even really spot the rotation on this one. I have a good feeling, of course, they're going to take this one out. They might take it out earlier, just let it run its course and expire at 8:15. So we're going to more focus on this one, which is, again, now crossing over 701. It's just south of 261. We'll see if we can get some road names in here and see. There's not a lot going on in there. As you see, there is your 701. There's some neighborhoods, looks like maybe some houses around these areas here. There is that rotation, again, moving its way across 701. Let's see what road. This is that intersection right there. So Plantersville Road, Popcorn Trail, and Idols Lane, North Fraser Street. You need to be in your safe space right there. That is where you're seeing that rotation right now. Let's take it all the way back out. And again, I'm not seeing anything impressive with this one, so hopefully they'll cancel that one early before it moves towards us. We'll follow this one just a little bit more. It does look like it's getting ready to move its way out of the warned area. It does look like that is starting to die down as well. As again, we showed what happened with those last couple that we have been watching as they move further inland. This one still has a little bit better rotation, not much left on that one there. So again, Conway 20 minutes if it holds together, Aner in 27 minutes. We'll go back out. Let's look at our reflectivity and go back out further down to the south. That is where, again, watching more move their way in. So there is still quite a bit more of this that's going to be coming in.
And speaking of that, tornado watch has now been extended till 6 p.m. tonight.
This tornado watch area.
Tornado watch area.
Yeah. I have a feeling this is going to go probably maybe past 9 into 10 o'clock. Right now, we're already in the 8 o'clock hour, which is when the original one had expired. These bands did slow down. Yesterday's model showed this band coming through between 3 and 5 a.m., which is why we had that watch until 8. But models slowed it down a little bit. This morning model showed it coming through about 8 a.m. So that's where we are right now. And there is that band. So again, we'll watch all of these that are moving their way in as it continues to push its way. Have we got any updates on Helene? As it continues to weaken a little bit as it continues to move its way up towards the north? But okay, we'll watch this one again. Let's zoom back in while Scotty checks that one. This one, again, not expecting that one to be extended. It looks like it's not here anymore. It does look like it's up here, right in Hemingway right now. It does look like some very heavy rain with that one. We could see some straight line winds. When you get that heavy rain that pulls down the colder air that's up in the upper levels, that's where you get those downbursts. That's where you get those strong straight line winds. So we'll see if they cancel this one. It's supposed to go for about another 10 minutes, but we'll see what happens with that one as it moves. It's moving its way out of that box right now. So there's that one. Still not too impressive. It does look like that one is starting to die down as well. So hopefully we'll luck out and we won't see anything coming into our area.
Just the
Let's
latest,
see.
just
Yeah.
the latest on Helene, 8 a.m. advisory, 60 mile per hour, moving north at 30 miles per hour. Pressure still at 972 millibars, and it's located about 35 miles south-southwest of Clemson, South Carolina.
Okay. So that's good news there. Now, we do have a new tornado warning. Let me see if I can get that one to pop up.
Yeah,
so
this
they
one's
have
for-
extended, that is the same cell. That goes until 8:30. So another 25, 24 minutes of this. But again, now, this is why we have been tracking it, even though it has been outside of our area, is because now it is expected to move into the area. Again, like I mentioned, I don't think they're going to extend that one. Looks like that one's going to be dying out. So this one is going to be our main focus here as it moves its way. It looks like it's right in Plantersville right now. So again, need to be in your safe space if you're in Plantersville. It looks like this one's still about Aner in about 23 minutes. So this is kind of following along the same line as that last one did. And we'll see it moving its way. It's going, this one is booking at 69 miles an hour is how fast this thunderstorm cell is moving. Actually, I don't think it's a thunderstorm. I don't see any lightning out of these, how fast this rain band is moving. So we'll get, again, embedded in these rain bands, that heavy rain, that's where you get that friction. That's where you get these warnings, these tornado warnings when you get the rotation. Here is the rotation on this one now. Looks like it is north of Plantersville now. And again, this one is moving fast. It is moving at close to 70 miles an hour. Now it looks like it's going to be in Aner in about 22 minutes. So these other two look like they're set to expire. This one completely fell apart, which is, again, is good news. And again, typical with these that push their way onshore. So let's go back out and look what's down to the south, see anything
This
down
one's
to the
going to
south.
be canceled right there.
Yeah, so that one will get canceled. It looks like a little rotation on this one. I don't see much on that one. Looks like that could be roughly about the same one there. And if we go back to the reflectivity, you will see those storms pushing their way in. So there's these two here. Here's the one we're watching here. You do see a little bit of a hook on that one, or at least trying to form. There it is, trying to hook its way around, and you can tell that when you turn on the velocity. You see there's your rotation. There's your rotation away. There's your rotation towards. So you're really looking at in between these is where that actual rotation is. So if you query that, that is where you're getting 11 miles an hour and then 55 miles an hour. So again, 55, 36 towards well, 1 mile an hour, so that's a little bit, 15 miles an hour. A little bit more impressive there. So that one still does have that rotation. So again, go back out a little bit. These two, again, more than likely going to get canceled. That one is. We'll see what this one is probably just what that one was earlier, because I don't think there's much rotation on that one there. We'll look at this moving its way in. There's a little bit there, but that's outside of that box. Now Georgetown, that is moving its way into Georgetown County. That'll continue to push its way as well. That one right there, that one's moving
76 miles an hour.
76 miles an hour. That is a fast moving cell. And then this one, even that one's moving at about 49 miles an hour. So let's zoom back out to the DMA and let's zoom back into this one here. So again, here it is. We'll go back to the reflectivity and look to see if they got that hook on there. It looks like it's trying to form.
Yeah, it does. And so you're starting to see some of this rain moving into Murrells Inlet, Garden City, Surfside, Myrtle Beach, Sockasty, Broadway at the beach. Be mindful over the next 30 minutes to an hour here along the Grand Strand. We could start to see some cells move into this area. That will start to raise our tornado potential. But for right now, let's kind of zoom out here, and you can kind of see the big scale picture, and then we'll kind of zoom back in and let you see these individual cells. But here's a look right now across our area. 2 tornado warnings. This one is about to expire over close to Andrews, but we have this tornado warning in Georgetown. But the one we are watching right now is moving through northern Georgetown County, southern Marion County, and then eventually into Horry County. And this will go until 8:30. Remember that tornado watch extended until 6 p.m. tonight. But once this band moves out, we'll start to see those tornado watches canceled fairly early. So let's take a look at what's going on. Again, we're going to watch this cell as well. That's going to be moving up the Grand Strand. But for right now, let's kind of zoom in right here and show you what's going on. This is where we're seeing some rotation just north of Plantersville. This is moving north at 69 miles per hour. So it is quickly moving. If we tell you these town names, these road names, that means you need to get in shelter immediately just because of the fast motion of these storms. So Aner, you got about 22 minutes before this cell is in your direction. But as we continue to move up into the northern areas, you can see that velocity is about to pass over the intersection of 701 and 261. So this is going to continue to move north. Here's this little southern portion of Marion County. You're going to be the next in line, and then eventually into the 378 area into Horry County. So over the next 20, 25, 30 minutes, Horry County, if this sticks together, this will be moving into your area. But again, our rotation right now just about to pass over Highway 261 and 701. And you can see this is lower Topsail Landing, upper Topsail Landing. If we can zoom in a little bit closer, maybe we can get some road names here and kind of let you know what's going on. So you have Exodus Drive, North Fraser Street. This will continue into Pleasant Hill Drive, and then eventually up into Old PD Road, Concrete, Carver's Bay Road, Rice Crossroads. This is continuing to move north at 67 miles per hour. So this is a very quick moving storm. So you're not going to have a lot of time to prepare for this. You want to make sure that you're in the lowest level of your home, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, preferably in a basement, but I know a lot of folks don't have basements. So lowest level, make sure that you're protected, your head, your feet, your eyes, because of any flying debris that could cause injuries to you. So again, this rotation right now just south of Mount Tabor on 261, just north of Plantersville, but you can kind of see that hook right here. We can zoom out just a little bit more, you be a little bit more apparent to you as you can see this little hook right here. That is why we are under that tornado warning. It will continue to move north. And then again, this is storm's going to be moving into Aner in about 19 minutes, but you can really see some heavier rain really moving into portions of that southern tip of Marion County. So we could see some very, very heavy torrential rainfall in this area. So visibilities will be low. I know the sun's up, but you're not going to be able to see a tornado because of these being rain wrapped. So visibility low with the heavy, heavy tropical downpours out there. Again, this will cross over 261, then eventually 378. So let's see if we can get it in and give you some road names. These are road names that will be affected within the next, let's say, 5-10 minutes. And we will continue to see this storm move off to the north. So here you go. You got IP Canal Drive, Hill Drive, Bruton Road, Tyler Drive, over towards Tom Cribb Road, and then you have Old PD Road right here, Petersfield. Then we can go up into, let's see, that is L&R Road, Woodbury Drive, or Woodbury Road, SB Drive, Port Hill Community, and then eventually up into Woodbury, and then Punch Bowl Ride. And you can continue to see the storm is moving well to the north pretty quickly out there. So you definitely want to make sure that you're seeking shelter. And again, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And we'll zoom out here, and you can kind of see this hook right here that's now moved over 261, continuing to move north at 67 miles per hour. That's going to be crossing over 378 in the southern tip of Marion County right now. So if you live in that southern tip of Marion County, this storm is moving over you right now. So you want to make sure you're in your shelter, away from windows, because this is quickly moving. As soon as it gets there, it's going to be going, moving at 67 miles per hour. That's about what cars drive on interstate. So it's a quick moving storm that is going to continue to move off to the north. So 378, you're the next in line with this tornado warning. But you can kind of see, here's Carolina Forest, Socastee, Surfside, Myrtle Beach. It is off to your west, so you're not in this warning, but you can start to see some showers, some heavy rainfall developing along the coast here. We'll watch that band as it continues to move up, and you'll see this is the next warning right here. And this storm's starting to get a little bit of better rotation here. This is going to be passing over Highway 17, again, Pawleys Island, and then moving off to the north. So let's look at this. This storm's moving at 76 miles per hour. That means it could be in Surfside Beach in 16 minutes, Socastee in 18 minutes, Spring-Made Pier in 19 minutes, Myrtle Beach in 20 minutes, Broadway at the beach in 23 minutes, Carolina Forest in 23 minutes. So that means you have about 20 minutes if this rotation sticks together to get into shelter. So if you're listening to me and you live in Surfside, Murrells Inlet, Garden City, Socastee, Myrtle Beach, Spring-Made Pier area, that storm is continuously moving to the north, and it does have a little bit of rotation right in here, now moving through Pawleys Island. So you can see that storm is quickly moving off, and it looks like they maybe have just dropped the tornado warning for that. So that is good, and they did. So now we just have one tornado warning. This is, again, going to be passing over the southern tip of oh, there's the new tornado warning. So this is going to include Surfside Beach. So if someone could tell Skylar, who is at the Surfside Pier, the tornado warning is now out for Surfside Beach, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. So this is going to be
safe spot.
This is going to be Surfside Beach, Socastee. This is going to be moving into your area. So here's some of the areas: Garden City, Murrells Inlet, Socastee in this, Broadway at the beach, Myrtle Beach, Market Common area. A little bit closer here, Burgess Community, Glenmore, Bucksport, News 13. We're actually in this warning polygon. So for those who are listening to me, just be mindful of that over the next 20 minutes or so. Surfside Beach in this. So again, this is that rotation that was just moving to the north outside of Pawleys Island. And you can see that rotation right now. Whoa, we went really far in there at North Litchfield Beach. And you can see we'll continue to move over this direction. And you can kind of see this is coming up Ocean Highway 17, Cayman Loop, Jason Drive, Spinnacle Court, Cole Drive, Litchfield Retreat, North Litchfield Beach. Under this tornado warning, as that rotation is now passing right through the Annieville area. So this is Wall Street. So if you're traveling on Highway 17, that's where the Applewood Pancake House is located. This is going to be close to the Waccamaw Hospital over the next 5 minutes or so. So you definitely want to be paying attention if you live in this area. I know we have a lot of viewers down in that area that will be monitoring this, because this tornado warning will be for your area. So again, Huntington Marsh, Murrells Inlet, Huntington State Beach Park. So if you know anyone may be camping there, you want to make sure that they're alert of that. Garden City, Surfside is just outside of the warning, but the way that this rotation is moving, it's kind of moving a little bit closer to the coast. And then Socastee, Glenmere, Burgess, and then Bucksport, you're in this warning as well. And again, this goes, what was that warning time, James? Did you get a catch on that? I guess about 8:45, I
8:45,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, 8:45. So again, this is where that tornado warning. So this is getting more into our populated viewing area, where the other tornado warnings have been a lot into the marshy areas. This one is going to encompass a lot of our viewing area. A lot of folks live in this area here along the Grand Strand, from Surfside Beach, Garden City, Murrells Inlet into Pawleys Island. And then we still have this rotation, albeit a little bit more broad, over Plantersville. And then again, this is all moving off to the north. So let's put our times here. Socastee, 15 minutes. Forest Brook, 16 minutes. Carolina Forest, 18 minutes. Conway at 20 minutes. So again, this storm, James, moving at an impressive 74 miles per hour.
Yeah, and again, if you're even not in that rotation, you're going to see, again, those strong winds in that area. If you zoom in, you see the rotation here. And again, that one is kind of moving its way up the coast. Luckily, it doesn't look like that rotation is very strong with this one, but we'll see. There's your rotation there. So if you're in that area, again, that's where you do need to, again, take your cover now, because this one is going to be moving its way through. So you see this one kind of hugs the coast. We still have this one that's moving its way towards Aner, and that's where, same one we just tracked a little bit earlier. So right now, the one we have been watching, again, is this one here. You see that rotation there, and you see that one is in Aner in about 18 minutes. That's still some pretty impressive rotation, getting ready to cross over 378. And again, the next one we're going to be watching is this one. So you see that area here. You see some rotation here with this one. Socastee, 15 minutes. Our building, 16 minutes there at News 13. Forest Brook, 17. And then Carolina Forest in about 18 minutes. CCU, 19. And Conway in about 20. And it looks like it could potentially include Aner. But again, this one is moving its way right up the coast. And we're going to see that same potential continuing. If you turn back on here, here is your reflectivity. And again, that's where you're trying to get that hook. That's where you get that rotation. So again, even if you aren't in that rotation, you can still see some very strong winds with this one. Let's move up, and you can see there, still seeing that heavy rain for places like that, the Socastee area. And again, turn all that off. So there's the rain moving through. Here is what we're watching moving up and through the area. Turn back on the velocity. And again, you can see that rotation just a little bit. The good news is, it doesn't look like that rotation is very strong. Not nearly as impressive as this one is over here. Look at that rotation crossing over 378. That's where you get, again, away from the radar, towards the radar. There is your rotation crossing 378. So again, if that one holds together, we're looking at following the same one that was just expired here just a little while ago that moved its way up towards Marion. So watching both of these, again, you turn those shear markers on there. Again, this one's a little bit behind. Aner, you're probably about 15 minutes away right now, because this is where the old rotation was. So your rotation is up there. So that tornado warning's till 8:30. This one's till 8:45. So this one, again, about another 25 minutes. And again, this cell here, again, as Scotty had just mentioned, is really moving fast. Let's put this one up. That cell there, 74 miles an hour is how fast that one is moving. So again, you can imagine from Pawleys Island over towards Socastee, it doesn't take you very long if you're going 74 miles an hour in a car with no stoplights. So watching that, of course, Garden City, Surfside Beach, you're right on the very edge of that. So you see the rotation there, and more than likely going to be watching this one as well. See some pretty good rotation on that one. You turn back on the reflectivity, and that's where you see it here. So you see, it looks like it could be potentially two separate ones there, or that could be just one big area of very broad rotation. Doesn't look very strong, but again, this one is also radar indicated, so no reports of anything that's on the ground right now. But that one, again, goes until 8:45. So we're still watching both of these, and we'll see them. Let's go back to this one here, back to your velocity. And again, there is your rotation here, moving across 378 right now. There it is. So there is your rotation that's moving its way up and through 378. So if we zoom in, right now what you're looking at is, again, crossing over 378, Bunker Hill Road, Juniper Bay, and down. It's already past Sampson Landing. Move your way up to the north just a little bit there. Jordanville, Hughes Landing, Lundy Crossroads. This is where it's moving through right now. You need to be in your safe space here and up to the north as well, because this one, the rotation's still pretty good, still holding together. So that one is probably going to make it out of that warned area, so they'll probably be expanding that one just like they did the last one, because again, it does look pretty impressive still with that rotation there. So we go back, zoom back out just a little bit, and go back to the other one there that is a little closer to the coast. So let's go back here. And again, so we're watching for both of these. You can kind of see the rotation here with this one if you zoom in. So there's your rotation there, the red and the green. Again, red away from the radar, green towards it. You get that counterclockwise rotation. Also same with this one right here. That's really what the rotation we're looking at, moving us way right up in the middle of that warned area. And there it is. It shows it moving to the north, but we just watched that last scan push it up there. So Parkersville, you see Chapel Creek Villas, you got Annieville. That is where it is right now. If you're in those areas, you already need to be in your safe space. Of course, just north of that, what it's getting ready to move to is Sandy Island Road, Reunion Drive, Kings River Road. There also need to be in your safe space. So you see, there is 17. Same thing. If you live along 17 there, you need to be careful for that. There's Litchfield Retreat, North Litchfield Beach, and Litchfield by the Sea. You're going to be on the very edge of that with that broad rotation. You're going to get some very windy conditions there as well. And again, like we mentioned before, it doesn't take rotating wind to cause damage. So even though you're on the outside of that, you're still getting some very strong winds across the area. So there it is, moving its way again. This one really booking it. It's going fast, not showing as strong as a rotation as the one that is off to the north and west, but this one again, moving in some very populated areas right now, and then it will move its way a little further to the north. So again, kind of the same thing. If you're up here near Huntington Marsh and Willett Road, you see Brook Green Drive there. There's your Brook Green Drive. That is where it is going to be moving in next. So you need to be, again, aware of which way this one is traveling there. So we'll zoom back out a little bit. Let's take a look at the other one once again. And again, there is your rotation moving its way out of Berrien County and now into Horry County. So let's zoom in on this one here. Let's go in a little bit more there. So here's your rotation here. And again, you're looking at saying Aner in about 16 minutes. So probably about, there you go, 15 minutes, just updated as that rotation right now is right over Highway 378. So you need to be in your safe space there. And there is 501, there is Aner, there's Gallivant's Ferry. And again, there's where 22 comes in to 501. So this is west of Conway and moving to the north. And this one is also moving pretty fast. This one is moving at 60 miles per hour, as you can see here. And the top 11,000 feet, so not really getting much lightning out of these. Again, these are just some heavy rain bands moving their way through, and it's that friction that causes that rotation. So, and again, when you get a lot of lift, we have some very high dew points. Some of our dew points are right around 80 degrees, so we got a lot of moisture, of course, with the rain, and we've got the warmth out there. Our temperatures are in the 80s for most of us, upper 70s to 80s, so you get that lift, and that's what lifts that rotation up. And that's why, again, you get these storms. So there you go. Still watching this. Looks like it's probably the cell itself, the band is moving this way. So possibly we'll see this maybe just skirting to maybe the west of Garden City and Surfside. So again, we zoom back in, and what we're looking at eventually coming up to, so there is Merle's Inlet. There's 17. Should stay to the west of 17 there. Mulberry Landing, Richmond Hill, you need to be careful for that as well. There's Longwood Landing. There is Burgess. So it looks like on the current track, maybe passing just to the west there of Socastee, there's Bucksport. Need to be prepared for it in the Bucksport area because with that shear marker, that's the way it looks like that one is running. So we'll see it probably pushing to the western portion of the warned area. But again, some a very highly populated area right here. Everybody here needs to be ready for the potential of that moving its way through. Again, not seeing too impressive a rotation, but again, radar indicated, and it is far away from the radar. So again, not expecting to see, that rain route. Let's see what it looks like here on your reflectivity. So yeah, there it is. And again, it is kind of riding up just the western portions of 17. Looks like it's moving almost directly up towards the north.
We can see the core of the storm here on the Garden City camera. If we could pop that up for just a minute.
Let's see what the Garden City, actually, I might actually have that one here. It takes a second to load. But there it is. So yeah, there it is. You can't see really much out there. Again, because we are seeing that heavy rain, but that is about where it is. It's down to the south right here, so that's where you're going to see it right there.
You can see the wind so violent that you can see whitecaps here in the marsh area.
Yeah, you see the flags flying here, so they're getting very strong straight line winds. I don't know what the wind gusts are right now, but earlier they were in the 30s and more than likely now in the 40s. I did adjust this Georgetown camera earlier offshore. It just looks like the same thing. And you see some heavy rain and also yeah, the harbor gate's not going to see much of anything. Let's see if this one's pushed down to the south. Hey, just looking at some angry surf out there. So hopefully these people stay out of the water. So let's get this one switched back. It's going to take a second to load in there and switch back. As we'll see again, not seeing much out there with that rotation. It takes a second. Okay. Just these cameras, there you go. It just takes a minute to load. So there we are again, watching this one right here, and you can see, there it is. Again, moving its way to the north, have a feeling it's gonna pass by Murrells Inlet. More than likely, it looks like, again, it's gonna pass just to the west of Sockasty there. Looks like it's gonna be there near the Intracoastal and moving its way towards the north. Now it is showing, let's see what this one, yeah, Conway 20 minutes, CCU 20 minutes, Conway 22 minutes. It's slow down a little bit. It's going 59 miles an hour, still moving very fast. Let's zoom back out. Let's go back to the DMA. Let's check this other one out as well, as you can see there. All right, let's see that rotation on that one and see what it looks like. Oops. There is your rotation there. It's already crossed over 378. That one's getting ready to move its way out of the warned area. That one more than likely will get extended because you're still seeing some pretty good rotation on that one. That one is heading right towards Aner, as you can see there. There's where 22 comes into 501. Looks like it's going to pass near that there and then push its way straight up towards the north. You can see on the reflectivity where that one is right there. So that is the warned cell right there that has the rotation in it. You see moving its way again towards Aner. Looks like we've got Aner in about, I would say about 10 to 13 minutes. So we'll see if this one holds together. This one is now moving its way at 56 miles an hour. So it's slowing down just a little bit thanks to some of that friction, but there is your rotation. So probably Aner here in about the next 10 minutes. We'll see when the next radar scan comes. This one actually expires, this one expires at 8:30 right now. So let's see if they expand that one. Again, have a feeling they probably will because it's still showing some rotation on that one. We'll see if that one expands. Let's see again, because that one, again, is supposed to be expiring right now. What do they have on the chat board on that one?
Let's see. This one, they just now expired it at 8:30, so it'll take a little bit.
Okay, take a second for the system. So we're watching this one, but also look down here. This is what we're going to see circulating its way into the Grand Strand. Again, this is why that tornado watch has been expanded. This is the band we're watching. Once this is up and out, we're in the clear. You can see it already looks like Florence, Lake City, Kingstree, you're in the clear. Not expecting much out of this. It's this one band of some very heavy rain. That's what we're watching as we go throughout and probably about the next hour or so. Again, it is coming onshore here for Georgetown, but it will, you'll see these right across the Grand Strand. So we'll have to watch all of these. Again, some lightning strikes in that one. But again, this band here, once all this moves this way up and through, you see how it is already drying out Charleston, Summerville, even Kingstree and Lake City, seeing things really winding down. Did see this move its way through that area earlier. And there you go. That tornado warning has been expired. So now we're going to focus on this one here. And again, you go back to your velocity. Looks like that one is weakening as well, which of course is fantastic news. We'll see. This one actually goes until 8:45, so we'll see how long they hold this one together. There's some of that rotation there. You're seeing that kind of right here, right on the very edge of the tornado warned area. So there again is away, there is towards the radar, so your rotation is right there. Let's see what is in that area. Getting ready to push its way, looks like into Marion County. So Mulberry Landing, Longwood, there you go. Lower Topsail Landing. This is where your rotation is, right here in the center of those two colors. So your rotation, so it looks like it is gonna, again, pass to the west of some of your more heavily populated areas. Again, up to the north of that, as we're seeing there. Garden City, yeah, looks like you're in the clear there. So you should be good to go on that one. So we'll zoom back into more of this area right here. So there's your rotation. Looks like Sockasty, you're more than likely in the clear. That will push its way up. And you can see there is some populated areas there. Just, of course, not as much as this. Looks like that is all looking pretty good. Let's turn it back to the reflectivity and see where that cell is right now. I can get this to work. There it is. So there is your rotation. Trying to put together a little bit of a hook there. Not much there. Again, that rotation doesn't look too strong. So again, this one goes until 8:45. More than likely, they'll expire that one as it could possibly move its way out, because it does look like that rotation. Here's your storm relative. There is your rotation there. Again, your greens against the reds. Not seeing much there, but the good news is, again, looks like it's going to pass to the west of Socastee there as it moves this way directly. It looks like it's going to, again, move its way out of
There's
that
your
warning
warning
area.
zone.
And there you go. Things are looking much better. Again, that one luckily has fallen apart. So now it's time to take a deep breath, because we're not over with this just yet. Again, we still have more offshore there that are going to be pushing their way in. Again, got a lot of activity, but as of right now, things are really starting to wind down, at least for what's inland. This is what we'll watch over the course of the next couple of hours. So we'll take a breath. We'll toss it to break. We'll be back.